Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Becky Setra. So today's topic, I'm going to be talking about how to find a job as a dependent visa holder in the UK. So if you do want to know more about how to find a job as a dependent visa holder in the UK, why not watch the video to the end? Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Becky Setra. So for those of you who already are familiar with my channel, I'm a nurse in the UK, so I do videos about nursing and lifestyle. I talk about anything that you would need to know if you're new to the UK. So today I'm going to be talking about how to find a job as a dependent visa holder. If this is the first time you're watching my video, please remember to subscribe. For those of you who have been my subscribers from the beginning of my channel, thank you so much. Let's keep growing. So if I'm talking about a dependent visa holder, there are different categories, but mainly this would be someone who is a spouse or wife or husband of a nurse who has relocated to the UK, or of a carer, care assistant, senior carer, your wife or your husband who has relocated or planning to relocate. So if you are dependent, it means that you have the same, I would say, rights as the one who is the main visa holder. And so when you come here, actually, your opportunities, I would say, are actually more than the person who is the main, or restrictions. You don't have many restrictions like the person who is the main visa holder. For example, if I'm a nurse, I should be employed by a healthcare employer. I can't do anything else. However, if you are a dependent, you can decide to do whatever job you want to do. So that is the difference. So a dependent, as I said, could be a wife or husband of a nurse, carer, or a dependent of a student, someone on a tier 4 visa. So these are the opportunities. As I said, you can find jobs in whatever areas. The only exclusion is that if you're a trainee doctor, or you can't get a job as a trainee or a doctor or dentist in training, or a sports person, because for those fields we know that if you are a work permit holder, I'll refer to that as a work permit holder or a skilled worker visa holder, you have what we call no recourse to public funds. So your dependent cannot apply for a job as a doctor or dentist in training or a sports person. So those are the only exclusions, but apart from that, they can find or do any other jobs. The advice I normally give, if you're not already here and you're planning to come and join your wife or your husband, is you need to make sure you have some skills from home. Some people are already professionals, that is fine. You might be able to find a job in your profession, especially if you're already a teacher from home. You may be able to, but you can't come and straight away find that job. So if you're back home and you're planning to join your wife or your husband here, the options are certain little things you do could help you. If you can learn to be a barber, you can learn to be a hairdresser, you can be a dressmaker, a caterer, you can do little things with those skills whilst you are here. So that is just, this hair that I've got on my head. I bought this hair piece. It's passion twist, it's a crochet hair. I bought this hair itself less than just about £30. However, to fit it for me, just crochet, I paid £60 for that. So you can imagine, if you have skills like hairdressing before you come here, yes, you can't open a salon straight away, but if you do somebody's hair and someone will refer you to someone. And those of us who are from Africa and other parts of the world as well, whilst we are here, we want to wear something from home, and we want someone who can sew, a dressmaker. So yes, things like that can help you. I'm talking too much. Anyway, so I'm going to talk about how you can find these jobs, which is the main topic. So finding these jobs when you come here, one of the options would be every city, I would say most cities or towns in the UK have what we call job center. So you can go to the job center and find jobs, or there are a lot of agencies in most of these cities or towns. So if you go to the town centers, or you can go on Google and find a recruitment agency in wherever you are, and you will see whatever jobs they have available. Sometimes you can just walk in actually in person and apply for the jobs as well. So those are the options. These are basic jobs, or I would say transition jobs that you can start with. And then if you have skills, then you can apply for your specified or specific areas that you want to. One thing you should bear in mind is that if you're an accountant back home, or you're a boss in a company back home, please do not be deceived that when you come here you get such jobs where you'll be sitting in an office, or you get someone, you know, being your secretary and things like that. You can't get those jobs straight away, unless of course, you know, it's a fact. So you have to be prepared to start from somewhere. You have to be prepared to go low to start with. So some people end up finding jobs in warehouses. Some people do cleaning. Some people become care assistants. There are several other things. You can work actually in a postal services, Royal Mail, which is really good. So there are all these little things. You can work as a fruit packing in a fruit packing factory, or picking Amazon warehouses. And most of these companies, you know, you get something to keep your body and soul going whilst you get there. Now, to find a job or to start working, you need to have a bank account. It's very important. So you would need, you know, address. I did a video on how to get your first bank account in the UK, so you can look out for that. So you need a bank account, and you need to have your NI number, which is national insurance number, because that is how your tax is calculated and all that, or it has to do with your the taxing system anyway. So you need a national insurance number. However, it is not all that mandatory to have the national insurance number before you find a job, but the bank account is important. So you can start working, and then you apply for the national insurance number. The only thing is that if you're working without it, they'll be taxing you very high. But those of you who have the biometric resident permit, when you apply for your visas, you may already have been issued with NI number or national insurance number at the back of your BRP certificate or card, so you can look and see whether you already have an NI number. The question is, so when you all settle, what sort of jobs can you apply for? So you can actually retrain whilst you are here on a dependent visa. The only disadvantage is that you may end up, if you're retraining and you go to uni, you will end up paying as an international student, because you're not a home student. You only pay as a home student if you have your indefinite leave to remain. So, but some of these courses, when you apply and you are studying, you can actually have flexible means of payment, so you can do it. There are some jobs you can think about whilst you are here, apart from the factory work and all that. I talked about retraining. So you can train in radiography. I know people whose partners or wives or husbands have come here and they have trained to become nurses themselves. Some are healthcare assistants themselves. Some have trained to become social workers themselves. So there are a lot of different options. But if you're someone who is not into care or caring jobs, then there are other things you can think about driving. You can think about things like becoming a taxi driver. So if you've not already got a driver's license, you can learn and get the license from home before you get here. When you get here, you can polish up your driving, taxi driving, so it's flexible. Although they are quite strict on becoming how you become a driver, taxi driver. You can learn to become a bus driver. You can learn to become a HGV driver. But if you have a basic driver's license, it helps you to get yourself into those driving skills. If you're a teacher, you would have to either come and do the postgraduate teaching certificate course, or you can come and train, although teaching is not the easiest in this country, so it's a difficult area to go, but there are other people who are doing that. There are people who train and become interpreters, because over here, especially in the hospitals, they need interpreters because there are several people who speak different languages who don't speak English properly, and when they go for hospital appointments, they want someone who can interpret. So there are phone interpreters. So when you're here, you can find out how to become an interpreter, and with that you can register, and you don't need to be there face to face. Sometimes they just ring you and then they connect the other person. If you speak Twi, if you speak Ga, if you speak any other language, you know, Gujarati, Hindi, Punjabi and all that, you could be come, or you can train to become an interpreter in your own language. How, you know, what about that? And in the hospital as well, they do employ people for cleaning, pottering, so porters who carry or help people move people from one area to the other. Those are areas you can look at. Domestics are there as well. Catering services are there. Security services, both in hospital or outside of hospital. So there are different things you can do. Yes, some of our wives or husbands who have got very good job back home before getting here, a lot of them will tell you that, you know, there are frustrations because they wish they still have their jobs where they have all the respect and dignity and everything they have back home. But sometimes when you get here, things are different. It's not the way sometimes people paint it for us to see back home. It is not easy, but you have to sacrifice and you have to be ready. If you want to work together as a family, you have to be ready to sacrifice and work together. So basically, I think these are the main things I've got to say to you, and I hope it has been helpful. And feel free, drop me a line. And if there is anything you want me to talk about and create a video about, I'm more than happy to do that. I've started a new job, so I'm a bit busy having to learn, but at the same time, I'm happy to do that. If I don't reply straight away to your queries or questions, I'm not ignoring anybody. Remember to share, remember to like, and I will see you again next week. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you all. Bye-bye.